In our last video, we had a great interview with Craig and Brianna from Crazy Family Adventure. They shared some great information on their experiences as a family traveling through Baja, Mexico.
This time we're headed to our last destination in Baja. San Juanico, or Scorpion Bay, boasts one of the world's longest rideable waves. Insert angels singing and cherubs.
And surfboards going forever down these amazing waves. This break for
He's not kidding. You'll understand when I describe the first wave I catch there.
So it was nice being hooked up at an RV park in La Paz. We wanted to get back to the Pacific coast, back to hit some waves because we're about to go to Texas, the land of no surfing. So we booked it out of La Paz, headed north again, and this time though we kind of veered off to get to Scorpion Bay or San Juanico. It's actually pretty far out of the way.
Although I think we're a little bit biased. Driving on that detour road, any road that's even slightly better than that is a great road. But the roads headed down to Scorpion Bay, most of them were paved, not all of them, but they were smooth enough. The potholes were minimal.
And there wasn't a lot of traffic, so you could kind of veer around most of the potholes pretty easily.
It was a pretty long drive. But what's neat is you can see it like way far in the distance. You can see the little peninsula that is Scorpion Bay.
Yeah,
and so it's just, what a tease.
I wanna go!
It didn't stick all the way.
It was very scenic. As you get further towards San Juanico, you're in this very mountainous area, but you're kind of high up on these, I don't know, floodplains if you will, but just you're high up in these big open areas, that vast swaths of desert. And there's mountains all around and you can see for miles. And so you can see, wow, I have to go a long ways still.
Yeah, you're kind of, there's a little town that you kind of crest up to. And then you can see Scorpion Bay, and it's like, that's a really long road to get all the way out there.
But we kept on going. It took a while, and in fact, we actually got there right as it was just kind of getting dark. So we ended up parking the RV our first night next to some guy's garage where he sells gas out of a 5-gallon bucket.
It was a convenience store. He sold minutes for your cell phone and.
But you know you're in a small town when there's not a gas station, but there's a dude with a 5-gallon bucket selling gas, and that was kind of cool. I mean, it's a very neat town, very small, and but very, very old school in the fact, like definitely not in a touristy area.
We're here. So we're scouting out a spot for our RV. The roads coming in here, there aren't very many good flat roads. Most of the roads, the last mile to the beach, are really, really rough for like 4-wheel drive pickups. And so we're scouting around trying to find out how to get our big rig to the beach here.
It wasn't an easy route. We had to scope it out and find like the least crappy road to get there. So for those people with really nice RVs you don't want to get scratches on, you probably wouldn't want to go park your RV where we parked at. There are other places you could park at, but to get out there, you're essentially going down some of these off-road truck roads just for a short distance though. We took it slow and steady, and we actually were able to find this nice little route to get out to the bluff. And honestly, we're parked at the bluff directly above Baja's longest breaking wave, which is like insane. It's super cool because we can just sit there in the RV and we get parked and we're just sitting here watching these waves after wave after wave, this machine out our side door.
Tucker and sunrise. Ooh, look at that sunrise. Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful, dude. We're at San Juanico, also known as Scorpion Bay, and we're at the Scorpion Bay Resort. Ooh, yeah. I think resort's kind of a stretch, but if you consider a rocky dirt parking lot a resort, well, we're at the resort. And the wind is nice and light. You got the camera behind us right there, shooting a little time lapse for the sunrise. And Tucker and I are gonna go have breakfast. Gonna hang out. Little waves. We'll see at low tide if it gets better.
As surfers, it's hard to be an RVer because typically to try and get your RV to good surf beaches is difficult.
Yeah.
This is one of those really cool few times where like our RV is right there, steps away from this amazing world-class wave. So what makes Scorpion Bay so special is how this wave breaks. It's as if a machine made this wave. They're just really incredible. It's a nice sandy bottom where the waves are at, so it's a very chill wave. There's very little consequences here. So we're now back on the Pacific coast, and on the Pacific coast, you have waves that come from the south in the summertime or from the north in the wintertime. That's where the swells and the storms are at. So some of you might wonder why we didn't come here first on our way down through Baja, and that's because the waves don't really get good here until we get the southern summertime swells. So we're back, it's April. Back in February, there might have been some waves, but not as good as they are in the summertime. So now that we're getting into April, May time frame, we'll have more southern hemisphere swells. So without getting too deep in the details, let's just say this is the beginning of wave season for southern swells on the Pacific coast.
Each beach kind of has its own little point. So as the wave wraps around the initial point, it breaks. And then it gets to the next little point on the beach and it breaks again. And then gets to the next one and breaks again. So if the waves are big enough, you can catch the wave at the very beginning when it first wraps around and ride it like all the way down the coast, like minutes long, which I know doesn't seem very long, but when you're standing on a surfboard,
Right, 2 minutes.
oh my goodness, it's gonna be the longest, most epic 2 minutes of your life.
So it's a pretty special place. Because of that, there's also more crowds there. So we happen to be there. This is the end of April, which is fortunate because it's not prime time yet. And so the little bit of swell that was coming, there wasn't a lot of people fighting over it. So that was very nice to have that space.
Yeah, it was the same 4, 5, maybe 6 people that would paddle out each day, and everyone was so friendly.
Woo! Nice wave. As you'll see throughout this series, many of the best spots we visit are off-grid.
Some places you can have water brought in, but there are no electrical outlets along those beaches.
What there is abundant amounts of sunshine. So solar is hands down the best way to be comfortable in Baja.
There's definitely some spots that we park at, and one day turns into another, you just don't want to leave. And we didn't have to.
We've been using battle-borne lithium batteries for over 2 years, and they are the absolute best way for us to store our solar power. These batteries offer us twice the capacity of our old batteries, and they're also a fraction of the weight. Plus, they're maintenance-free, allowing us to get out there and stay out there, or get out here and stay out here. Fun little side note, this video, the cameras, the video editing, all this is being made with solar power. We got the sun hitting our panels right now, supplying our batteries, which are storing the power, which I'll use to edit a video tonight, which is pretty cool.
We've got Tucker napping in his bed, his little baby monitor is plugged in, all solar.
I'll take you over in just a second to the battery bank, and you'll see that we are definitely not babying our batteries. They're covered in dust. This is the desert, there's dust everywhere, but since they're maintenance free, they're still supplying the power that we need. We'll actually also have a link right over here. If you find yourself looking for lithium batteries, we're very happy with our battle-bornes. They've done a very good job. There's also, what else do we have there for the
We have
resources?
downloadable ebooks. We have checklists for traveling. We have other discounts and promos for various travel gear companies, products. Make sure you check it out. Everything will not be on there forever. Some of the discount codes expire within a certain amount of time, so make sure you check it out if you're interested.
A lot of good stuff though, and we hope that it helps you on your journeys.
At that point, I was still basically a novice surfer. Not very good at all. So I paddle out on Jesse's really big longboard. I remember just laughing because it was just such a cool sensation that I didn't know what else to do. And I'm sure I looked goofy and I was like standing super still because I didn't want to like fall off the board because I finally caught a wave. But oh my gosh. Jesse decided to take Tucker out to catch his first wave.
We actually got suited up, laddered on some sunscreen, and we paddled out, and he had a blast.
What's going on?
Today is Tucker's first day surfing. We're gonna go longboarding. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop.